I wasn't supposed to hear it, but I did. Her voice cut through the hallway like a knife, sharp, cold, dripping with the kind of hatred she never dared to show to my face, my mother-in-law, talking about me, destroying me, laughing about it. "She's not good enough for my son," she whispered. "She never will be." My heart clenched. My breath caught. But I stayed still, completely still, because I needed to hear every word. "And don't worry. I'll make sure this marriage ends. He trusts me. He'll believe anything I tell him." My knees almost gave out. Everything felt unreal, like the world had tilted sideways. She wanted my marriage gone, not damaged, not shaken. Gone. And the worst part? She wasn't alone. Someone else was there, and they agreed with her. That night, I learned the truth that would shatter everything. My trust, my peace, and every memory I thought was safe. But I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I planned. The next morning looked normal. Sunlight in the kitchen, coffee brewing, Marcus scrolling his phone like always. But something in the air felt different. Off. Wrong. "Morning," I said. He didn't even look up. Morning. Cold. Sharp. Almost rehearsed. That was her. I could hear her fingerprints on his tone. Her poison. Her influence. Her invisible hand squeezing our marriage from the inside. He finally lifted his eyes. "Mom wants to come over tonight." My stomach tightened. "Tonight? Why?" "She needs to talk to us." "Us? Or him?" Before I could respond, his phone buzzed. He looked down, smirked, texted back. Quickly. "Who's that?" I asked. He shrugged. "Just Mom." But the smile didn't match the explanation. There was something else. A second conversation. A hidden thread. I leaned closer. What does she need to talk about? He swallowed hard. "You'll hear it tonight." That evening, the doorbell rang exactly at 6 p.m. sharp. Precise. Like she timed it for maximum control. She walked in with a smile painted on her face. Thin, fake, brittle. "Naomi," she said, kissing the air near my cheek. "You look tired." Tired. A classic passive-aggressive attack disguised as concern. I smiled back anyway. "Traffic was rough, huh?" "Oh no," she said, stepping into the living room like she owned it. "My day was wonderful." Of course it was. She got to ruin something. Marcus appeared behind me. "Mom, want something to drink?" She lit up like he was royalty. "Oh, sweetheart, you know what I like." The warmth in her voice when she talked to him versus the ice she had for me made the message clear. This was a battlefield and I was the enemy. She sat on the couch with the confidence of someone who believed the world revolved around her. Legs crossed. Back straight, eyes sharp enough to cut glass. Marcus sat beside her, close, too close, his shoulder almost touching hers. I stayed across from them, alone small, intentionally positioned that way, no doubt. She folded her hands. "Naomi," she began, "I think it's time we talk about your place in this family." My chest tightened. "My place?" I repeated slowly. "Yes." She tilted her head in that condescending way she always did. "You've been struggling." "I'm fine." Her smile widened, almost triumphant. "Oh, sweetheart, no. You're not. Marcus stared at the floor, silent, detached. She continued, You don't cook enough. You don't keep the home the way a wife should. And your attitude, well, she sighed dramatically. You know how difficult you've been. My jaw clenched. That is not true, and you know it. Her eyebrows rose. Oh? So you're calling me a liar? I felt every bit of control slipping, but I kept my voice steady. I'm saying you're wrong. Marcus exhaled sharply. Naomi, just let her speak. Just let her speak. There it was. The first knife. The rest of the night was a blur of accusations wrapped in fake concern. You're not supportive enough. You're too emotional. You make everything about you. You push him away with your attitude. You're not the wife Marcus deserves. Each sentence was a bullet, and Marcus didn't defend me. Not once. At one point, I whispered, Marcus, please. He raised his hand to silence me. My heart cracked. Right there in front of her. She watched me break with satisfaction. Her lips twitched upward. Not quite a smile, but close. This marriage, she said softly, won't last if you don't change. I wanted to scream, cry, run. But instead, I memorized every word, every expression, every lie. Because one day, I would need them. The next few weeks were a slow, suffocating descent. Marcus changed. Little things at first. He stopped kissing me goodbye, stopped asking about my day, stopped sitting next to me on the couch. His phone became glued to his hand, always buzzing, always turned away from me. When I asked who it was, he'd snap. It's just Mom. Stop being paranoid. Paranoid. That word became a weapon. Then the comments started. You don't do the laundry right. You always start arguments. You're the reason my mother is stressed. His mother was stressed? I was the one being emotionally waterboarded every day. One night he didn't come home until 2 a.m. When he walked in, he smelled like perfume expensive. Not mine. My voice was barely a whisper. Where were you? He didn't answer. He went to bed. Because he didn't need to answer. Not when his mother had already painted me as the villain. Everything collapsed the night of our anniversary. I planned dinner, a simple, beautiful night, candles, his favorite dish, music low and warm. He walked in, saw the table, and said, I'm not hungry. No explanation, no apology, just cold. Marcus, it's our anniversary. So? My heart dropped. So? That's all you have to say? He looked at me with disgust. I don't want to celebrate something that feels fake. My breath hitched. Fake? What part of our marriage feels fake to you? The part where I feel trapped, he said. And Mom agrees. The room spun. The air vanished. He grabbed his keys. I need space. And like he'd been waiting for that moment, he left. The door slammed so hard the candles flickered out. I fell to my knees on the kitchen floor, alone, broken, but not destroyed, not yet, because the universe was about to give me everything I needed, by accident. A week later, I walked into the house unexpectedly. I had left work early, didn't tell Marcus. The house was quiet, too quiet. Then I heard something, a voice, her voice, his mother, in my kitchen, talking on speakerphone. I froze. strained to listen, and what she said next ruined every lie she had built. "She doesn't know Marcus isn't your real son." My entire body went numb. Real son? What? I inched closer. "You can't let her find out," another voice said. A man's voice, deep, uneasy. She hissed. "If Naomi learns the truth, everything falls apart. My reputation, my standing, everything." The man exhaled. "Then destroy the marriage before she touches anything legal." Legal? Legal? My breath caught. My mind raced. "I've already convinced Marcus she's the problem," she whispered. "By the time she leaves, she'll take nothing." Nothing. She planned to erase me. Erase my home. Erase my life. Erase my marriage. But that wasn't the real secret. Not yet. The man asked quietly, "Do you think she suspects?" "No," she snapped. "She's too naive to know Marcus is—" The front door opened. They went silent. I ducked behind the staircase, heart pounding so violently I thought it would echo, but I heard enough. More than enough to blow everything apart. For days I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't function. My mother-in-law's voice haunted me. "Marcus isn't your real son. Destroy the marriage before she touches anything legal." I needed answers, real answers, and I needed them without tipping anyone off. So I started small. Old photos, old documents, birth records, financial statements. Everything looked normal on the surface, but then I found something. A sealed envelope hidden in Marcus's childhood photo box. The paper was old yellowed, fragile. Inside was a single document. Marcus's birth certificate, but with a different last name, different father, different details. My knees went weak. His mother had forged everything. Everything. Marcus's entire identity was a lie she built. To protect herself, to hide something monstrous I kept reading. And then I found it. A name. A man's name. The same voice I heard on the phone. My stomach dropped. His mother wasn't protecting Marcus. She was protecting herself. Because Marcus was the product of an affair, a scandal, a secret she had buried for decades. And if I exposed it, she would lose everything. I sat at the dining table with everything spread out in front of me. The forged papers, the fake birth certificate, the hospital record with the wrong father's name, the old insurance forms, the documents she thought would stay buried forever. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from clarity. For the first time in months, maybe years, I wasn't confused. I wasn't doubting myself. I wasn't feeling small. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed proof, not suspicion, not emotion. Proof. Something undeniable. Something that would break every lie she built. Something that would make Marcus see. Because love wasn't enough. Talking wasn't enough. She had poisoned him, turned him against me, destroyed everything. So I became quiet, deliberate, observant. I watched, listened, collected. I checked bank statements, found withdrawals that didn't make sense, payments to a private clinic, phone calls to the same unknown number, a pattern of secrecy. Every day the truth sharpened. She wasn't trying to protect her son. She was trying to protect a crime. She forged a birth certificate. She lied under oath. She filed taxes under false identity. She built an entire life on a lie. And she thought she could bury me to keep it safe. Not anymore. I needed one big piece, one lockpick that would snap every door off its hinges. So I did what any woman pushed to her limit would do. I recorded her. I waited until Sunday, her favorite day, to drop by unannounced. She walked in with her usual superiority, perfume cloud, designer handbag judgment in her smile. "House smells different," she commented. "I cleaned," I replied. She hummed, unimpressed. "Perfect." The microphone was recording from my pocket. "So," she said, sitting at the counter, "what have you done to fix things with Marcus?" I tilted my head. "Fix what?" She smirked. "That attitude." I didn't respond. Silence is a pressure cooker. She filled it exactly as I expected. "You know," she said, "this marriage was a mistake from the beginning." My pulse jumped. She kept going. "I told Marcus from day one you weren't good enough. You don't come from a real family. You only married him for stability. I was right to protect him." Then she leaned in, voice low, cruel, dripping with the kind of venom only she possessed. "By the time you're gone, he'll see the truth. You were always temporary." There it was, the confession. But the universe wasn't done. She pulled out her phone, dialed someone. On speaker. The same man's voice answered. "We're almost done," she whispered. "She's breaking. Marcus is on my side. Once she leaves, everything stays buried. Everything stays buried." My heart thudded against my ribs. This was bigger than marriage, bigger than jealousy, bigger than mother-in-law drama. She was hiding something illegal, and I was the threat. The call ended. She smoothed her hair, completely unaware, and I smiled. For the first time in months, I had hope. Because I had the recording. Over the next days, something shifted. Not in me, in her. She sensed it. The change in my energy. Predators can feel when prey stops running. She looked at me longer, watched me move, listened too closely. She sensed confidence, calmness, a quiet she didn't recognize. A woman with nothing left to lose, a woman who knew too much. She hated that. One afternoon she confronted me. "What's going on with you?" I shrugged. "Just thinking." "About what?" "Everything." She narrowed her eyes. "Don't play games, Naomi." Games? She was the queen of games. "I'm not," I said softly. "And soon, neither will you." Her nostrils flared. She wasn't used to pushback, especially not from me. She stepped closer. "You're going to lose." I smiled. "Am I?" For the first time, she looked uncertain. Beautiful. Marcus came home later and later each night. His mother's poison had eaten through every layer of him. He was defensive. Aggressive, detached. He picked fights over nothing. "How come dinner's not done? Why didn't you wash my shirt? Why are you so sensitive? Stop nagging. Stop asking. Stop talking." This wasn't my husband. This was a puppet. But instead of crying, begging, or breaking, I watched him. Because when someone is manipulated, you don't fight them. You expose the puppet master. Then one night, He walked in with his mother behind him, unannounced. "Sit down," he ordered. He actually ordered me. I sat, calm, collected. His mother smirked like she already won. He took a breath. "Naomi, I think we need time apart." There it was, her victory, her dream. She placed a hand on his shoulder like she owned him. "I agree." My heart squeezed. Pain burned my chest, but I didn't cry. Instead, I asked, "For what reason?" Marcus hesitated. Then she answered for him, "You're the problem, Naomi. You've turned him against his own family. You're unstable. And frankly, Marcus deserves better." I leaned back. "Is that so?" Marcus nodded. "Yes." I inhaled slowly, letting the words cut, then heal, then harden. "Okay," I said softly. "If that's how you feel, then tomorrow morning we're meeting with a lawyer." Both of them froze. "A what?" his mother stuttered. "A lawyer," I repeated, "to discuss separation, assets, and disclosures." Her face drained of color. Marcus frowned. "What disclosures?" I shrugged. "We'll find out tomorrow." She panicked first. He panicked second. I smiled. Checkmate hadn't happened yet, but the board was shifting. That night, I heard them whispering in the living room. "Why would she want a lawyer?" Marcus asked. "Because she wants your money," she hissed. "Interesting." I had more money than Marcus, but okay. "What disclosures?" he asked. "Don't worry about it," she said too quickly. "She's bluffing." But her voice was shaking. Marcus paced. "What if she knows something?" "She doesn't," she snapped. "She's too emotional to see straight." Oh, I was seeing very straight. Then the man's voice appeared again, the one from the call. "He cannot be involved in any legal proceedings," he warned. "If she finds out about the birth records," she hissed. "Shut up! She's here!" Silence. I smiled in the dark. They were scared. Good. Over the next 24 hours, the house was chaos. Marcus was confused. His mother was terrified. And I, calm, still, focused. They whispered behind doors, argued, made calls, deleted messages. At one point, his mother snapped, "We need to end this now!" End what? The marriage? The secret? Me? It didn't matter because I was ready, more ready than they ever imagined. The next morning, I walked downstairs dressed neatly, holding a folder. Marcus stared at it like it was a bomb. His mother stood behind him, pale, shaking. "What's in that?" he asked. "Information," I said. "Truth." His mother stepped forward. "You don't need a lawyer. We can talk." I held up my hand. "No, we can't." Marcus swallowed. "What?" "Truth." I looked him dead in the eyes. "The truth your mother has been hiding from you your entire life." His face drained of color. "What are you talking about?" I opened the folder slowly, deliberately, letting the tension choke the room. Inside, birth certificate, hospital record insurance forms, financial documents, all altered, all forged, all lies. I placed them on the table. "This," I said, "is your real identity." His mother gasped. "No, she's lying." I pulled out my phone, pressed play. The recorded phone call filled the room. Her voice, her words, her confession. Every single lie. Marcus collapsed into a chair. His mother turned white. "And I finally breathed. "Mom?" Marcus whispered. His voice cracked. "Is any of this true?" She shook her head violently. "No, she manipulated this." I hit play again. Her voice echoed. "Destroy the marriage before she touches anything legal. He'll believe anything I tell him. Everything stays buried." Her throat bobbed. She staggered back. "Marcus, listen to me." He stood up, face red, hands shaking. "You lied to me? About my life? About my father?" Her lips trembled. I did it to protect you." "To protect me?" he roared. "Or to protect yourself?" Silence. Heavy, suffocating, deadly. She had no answer. Marcus looked at me, really looked at me, for the first time in months. "Naomi." His voice broke. "I'm so sorry." I held up my hand. "This isn't about apologies. This is about truth." He nodded slowly, then turned to his mother. "I want you out." She gasped. "Marcus!" "Out!" Her face twisted. Fear, humiliation, rage. "You're choosing her over me?" Marcus's voice was low, cold. "I'm choosing the truth." She grabbed her purse, stormed toward the door, then spun around, eyes wild. "You'll regret this, Marcus. Both of you." I stepped forward. "No," I said softly. "You will." And I handed her a second envelope. Her hand shook as she opened it. Inside, documentation of her fraud, identity alteration, financial crime. Her eyes shot up, panic blooming. You wouldn't." I smiled. "I haven't yet." She backed away slowly, fumbling for the doorknob. Marcus watched silently. She ran. For hours, Marcus sat at the table quiet, broken, processing. I didn't comfort him. I didn't hold him. I didn't play the supportive wife. Not this time. He finally whispered, "Naomi, can we fix this?" I looked at him, really looked, at the man who had let his mother destroy us, who believed her lies, who betrayed me without ever realizing it. And I said, "That depends on you." 1 month later, his mother left town, disappeared. Her secrets, no longer safe anywhere. Marcus started therapy, cut off contact, rebuilt himself. As for me, I found my voice again, my strength, my identity. I wasn't the broken woman she tried to create. I was the woman who survived, the woman who exposed her, the woman who didn't bow. And every time I walk past the mirror now, I see a woman who lost everything and rebuilt even more. A woman who was almost erased, but instead became unforgettable.